I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe.
Hello, friends. We're back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kandron.
What up? What up? It's Dehjai.
Never been here before. We do a cross section between pop culture and real life. And today we have a reality TV slash pop culture topic.
It's adjacent between the two.
And we also have a PSA. So if you've been here before, you know we do these PSAs every now and again, telling
Come on,
people to get their
Esquire.
business affairs in order and stop acting like clowns. I'm gonna make a playlist specifically for these PSAs because
I
we can't
almost
be
feel
having
like
people.
that the playlist should be called Esquire.
Sure. Um,
Notes from an Esquire, okay?
something like that, child. Okay, so Mia from the Real Housewives of Potomac got on the internet to tell her business to literally no one who asked. Um,
I feel like she was trying to get ahead of something. Like there's gonna be
yes.
something coming out.
Okay, so let's give
And she
background
needed
on
the
the thing
embarrassment.
first. That is my exact thought. But let's give a little background and try to find the Instagram post.
Oh, I think you got it, or you want me to pull it up?
I have my phone in my hand. Memento. But yeah, so she basically insinuated that one of her brothers had locked her out, or one of Gordon's brothers had locked them out of the business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says, please pray for our family. This is on Instagram. And it says, Gordon's brothers, who he trusted to support and carry on the family legacy, has recently revoked his access to the company bank account while we were out of the country. I've since learned that my salary will no longer continue past this next payroll cycle due to my unwavering loyalty to Gordon. The thought that the person who Gordon selected to run our empire and who he thought would be the one to care for to care for me and the kids has now manipulated the organizational structure and robbed us of everything we own. Gordon and I built this company from the ground up and brought on family members since 2013. Never would we think that after a decade of building generational wealth and opportunities would end up being taken from us overnight. If you can't trust family, who can you trust?
You trust,
My
yeah.
heart is completely empty.
And then at the bottom, she just says in her little additional caption, sorry, love's been going through it. Life at times feels impossible. And then she put like the name of the company. I don't want to make mention to them, but if you're interested, you guys can hop on to I think it's Mrs. Mia Thornton on Instagram and read the whole thing. But yeah.
I have thoughts. I agree with you wholeheartedly that this feels that she's trying to jump ahead of something that's coming down the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like, yeah, no one asked for this. Nobody was going up to the chiropractor. Maybe people were going up there hoping to see her, but nobody was going up to the chiropractor place expecting to see Mia. If they did not see
Yeah.
her, they would be like, girl, she was busy. If you happen to see her, you'd be like, oh, cool. I got to, see Mia or meet
100%.
Mia. But like nobody would have gone up there and been like, oh my God, I've not seen Mia. The business must be failing. Like, girl, nobody asked for this.
Mm-mm.
Nobody asked for this.
Not at all. I think so. To the point of the brother like absconding off with all of the business and the monies,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like also that there's a possibility that there was some recklessness in how the money was spent. And I
Mm-hmm.
only have that opinion based upon like the flashiness that was happening in the last season when he wanted I forget Mia's husband's name, but he wanted everybody to run
Gordon.
outside to see that daggone Mercedes Benz. Or
Mm-hmm.
before they even got it, like he was calling and having like this whole conversation on speaker so everybody could hear, basically like just it was like announcing that you got the money to buy this very expensive vehicle that I love. That's the car I actually want. Um, but like what I don't know. That to me just indicated potential irresponsibility with your coins.
Yes. So that was it also is one of my theories. My other theory is that there is there's mismanagement in an adjacent business or something else that they're running, and or personal finances, and they were
Mhm.
and the reason for signing over the business to the brother was to shield it from any other things that they may have going on potentially.
Yeah.
Again, these are all theories of the case. We're not
We don't
saying
know,
that
ain't
any of
none of
this
this
really
fact.
happened, but something about this does not sound right, because we have talked here about succession planning. We've talked about it twice, in the context of Mary and then in the context of Karen.
Yeah.
And you, hmm, it's not, the math is not mathing, because you're not going to sign over all interest in a business while you're still alive. That does
No.
not make sense. And while you still need money from the business, while you're still carrying on the day to day of a business, you are not going to do that. That does not make any sense. And to make it so that Mia is just an employee of the business and doesn't have any say in the leadership structure, that does not make sense.
Not at
That
all.
does not make sense as a succession planning situation. In a I don't say a proper succession plan, because there's many succession plans. You can plan however you want.
Right.
But usually there is some interest and input left for the person as long as they are alive,
Hmm.
you know? And then when they pass on, then there's things in place that pass things down accordingly.
Right.
Or you take a back seat with an income and all of those things. But like this idea that they could just fire Mia because she was some common, that does not make sense. That doesn't, I don't know why they would do that. That's why I am thinking that something else is going on in this story.
I just don't understand like this idea of like um to the point where she said like she, because I think, was it in her statement just now? Maybe I missed that part where she was saying that she would no longer be receiving her salary.
Yeah. She said basically they cut
Because I
her off
remember,
of payroll.
yeah, like I remember that part from DJ Richie Sky. Shout out to him.
Hmm.
He talked about it the same day that I think that she posted it. Like
Yeah.
he released a statement about it, and I was just kind of like, if this is a business that you own, even though like I think not mentioning the business, you, like I said, you guys can pop onto her Instagram to see what it is if
Hmm.
you don't know. They are franchised, so
Yeah.
like it's several of them, because there's some here in this city as well, and I think that
Hmm.
they actually own the ones that are in my area.
And
um
my thing is, like, for that situation, there should be buyout provisions. But when you're trying
exactly,
to,
like why
when
is
you're
there's no money coming into you?
correct, and it seemed, but to me, that's why I say it seems like they did something wonky to avoid something else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and or like you said, that things were being mishandled inside and that they rightfully ousted them. But again, that still requires a that usually requires a payout. So
Mm-hmm.
it seems like they put themselves on payroll with the hopes that the family would just keep paying them,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to making sure that they are in proper authority of the company so that they can make these decisions and somebody can't put you out with
Mm-hmm.
a 2 weeks notice. That's
Right.
crazy.
I feel like there's I'm always on TikTok. But there's like this conversation with the TikTok accountants and lawyers and all that, where they're talking about how if you have like businesses and like monies in general, like you need to put all that stuff in a trust so that it's
100%.
separate of yourself and that it's being managed and run under that trust, and you may receive payout from it, but it's not directly attached to your name. I could be
Yes.
butchering this, okay, because this
No,
is
no,
not my
no.
forte.
You're right there. You're right there. So,
um like why wouldn't you just do that? And it makes me one of the conversations that's being had is they were saying that a lot of us Black people don't know to do that,
okay.
and they end up in this type of positioning,
Yes.
either where they're being sued and then people are taking their business, or something like this where someone has run off and absconded with their shit.
Yeah. So, um yeah. This is the semi-legal PSA on the back end of this is please set up your businesses properly. Please do not be out here trying to finesse and just making a mess of things. Don't do that because it's not worth it. Like, it's really not worth it because you have situations like this where you think, oh, I'm setting it up this way, but we have an understanding on the side. But the law does not recognize understandings. The court does not recognize understandings. The court
No.
recognizes what you have signed off on in a paper. And let me tell you this, okay? At the end of most contracts is a boilerplate. You might not read the boilerplate, but the boilerplate is important. And it tells you at the end of the contract that this comprises all of the prior conversations that we have had in this agreement.
Okay.
All the rest of the stuff y'all been talking about, that don't matter no more. We talked about this also with Khalees and the Khalees and Beyonce video.
Yeah.
You thought what was going to happen, but that's not what you signed off on.
No.
And we're team Khalees. We're team GP over here, just so we're clear. Okay.
Listen,
but
I don't want no trouble with the Beehive.
It is not
we love Beyonce. Don't misunderstand. She ain't got nothing to do with the conversation that we're talking about right now. It really
does not. But again,
don't do that.
All I'm saying is, listen, get your affairs in order when you are setting up these businesses. Do not commingle your funds. That is the main thing. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, please pay yourself a salary on a regular schedule with scheduled bonuses or whatever the case may be. Do not be out here paying your rent out of your business account. That's not how it works. Pay yourself a salary and pay the rent out of your account or your mortgage or whatever on your personal home. Like,
but people also do like this thing. I feel like I sent this to you like in 2020 with the girl that was talking about buying all of these assets under the business to include like her apartment was under the business. She got vehicles and things under the business. And you were like, I don't know that this is so legal. I wouldn't do this.
I am just saying that I would not want the IRS in my affairs trying to sift through what part of this is actually my business and what is not. Even more than the IRS, what I would not want is to be at court with them saying, you don't look like you're operating this as a business. So therefore, we're going to include all of this as your personal assets, regardless of whether you have this LLC or not, because you're spending money, you're tricking off in Gucci off your company card. And that's just not a thing unless you are in certain areas of business where your appearance matters, and then you may be able to write some of that stuff off.
Influencer LLC, basically, like,
or something like that. I mean, there's other businesses where your appearance matters and you can buy different things to support your business or whatever. Right. It's fine. Talk to your accountant. But all I'm saying is, let's make sure that we're keeping our business affairs in order. That is my PSA. Do not be doing some stuff to try to finesse and get around the system, because 9 times out of 10, somehow you're going to get got. And that's what it sounds like happened in this situation. They were trying to finesse something on the front end and they got on the back end. That's just my thought.
And the idea that they went out of the country and all this went down, like, how is it that there was no, I'm just gonna wait to see how this plays out, because it just doesn't make any sense that you didn't get any sort of wind of the possibility of such things happening. And you have some sort of like you have say in the company. So like, what is going on?
Now I will say, and I'll wrap this up quickly because we don't have that much time left, but House of Gucci, I haven't watched the movie, but I did read the book. And sometimes family can finesse you. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not gonna hold you. How they can come together to finesse the situation. So maybe that's what happened here, and we're saying something that didn't really happen. Maybe they gave the family too much control and the family came against them. That's possible too. House of Gucci, shouts out to that.
I mean, I'm saying if Mia and her husband was running things like the Gucci family members, the ones that didn't know what they was doing, let me correct myself.
Who also, well, none of them did. God bless.
Well, I mean, the uncle, he just didn't want to change, but all his stuff was seemingly legit until it wasn't.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, y'all chime in the comments. Let us know what y'all think is going on. And
if you watching, do you care?
And
we'll come back today.
Potomac. We're gonna be back with Potomac reviews. So
yes, that'll be back today, honey. Make sure y'all tune in. I think come on at 9.
Yes. So drop down in the comments, like, comment and subscribe, follow us, all of those things, all of our social media is down below in the comments, and we'll talk to you later. Or
Yeah, bye.
sister box. And we'll be back another time. Bye.